Now the news in details. The former Deputy Minister for Energy, K.T. Hammond, has handed over to the Judgment Debt Commission a stash of documents he says will clear his name in the controversial ship drill belonging to the Gnpc. The commission, which has been looking into the payment of some judgment debt, is investigating how the Discover 511 vessel was sold off and happened to proceed. $3.5 million of which appears untraceable. The NP for Adansi Asukwa, who appeared together with the former boss at the time, Albert Kandapa, however, maintained the $3.5 million was paid into government's chest after the creditors and lawyers has been settled.
The story so far as presented before the Commission is that the Discoverer 511 of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation was sold off in 2001 for $24 million to settle judgment debt claims of French bank Société Générale made against the corporation. Former Energy Minister Albert Kandapa, who said he acted on the advice of the then Attorney General and Minister of Justice Nana Akufo-Addo, maintains all decisions taken in connection were done in accordance with the law.
I have taken my time to study this case. Yes. Since you started your work. I am convinced, as I sit here, that there was not one single wrong decision that was made in the whole exercise. There was no single wrong decision, not by anyone, and I stand by that. I think I should. So if I give you power, go and deal with my property for me. My Lord, then you go on the strength of my power. You come, you don't report to me. You don't give me what was what you derive from what you did. You don't tell me anything, and you tell me it's right. My Lord, you're going back into the laws. I'm not a lawyer. I say that. Yes, that's why I'm saying that. Yeah, if anything went wrong, by your evidence, if anything went wrong legally, I wouldn't know. Good, you wouldn't know.
As far as he was concerned, the outstanding $3.5 million was paid into an account of the government of Ghana at the Ghana International Bank in London. He, however, could not tell what happened to the monies because he said he was neither the finance minister nor the accountant general at the time. His deputy at the time, K.T. Hammond, then took a stand with more than 15 exhibits he says were to demonstrate the transparency in his dealings. He agreed with his minister at the time that the Gnpc was in a total mess when they took office and that neither he nor his minister should be blamed for the disappearance of the $3.5 million.
My Lord, I intend, by associating myself with my minister and the evidence I'm also going to adduce, to demonstrate that the sale was transparently done, was scrupulously done, and there's nothing untoward that happened.
An emotional K.T. Hammond at a point almost broke down in tears over what he says is the anguish he's had to endure as a result of the case.
There are people in this country who will have the information about where the 3.5 went to. Now you worship your God and you pray. God will not let you down. I went to Parliament the other day. When I got in there, I had a document in my pigeonhole. Hand it over to His Lordship. My Lord, this document has every document, every indication, who wrote a letter, who deposited the account where, who did what, the drawings on this account, the whatever. A young man came here from Bank of Ghana and said that he doesn't know, they don't know about anything. They know it in this country. My Lord, it's all here. 65 pages.
Later, in an interview with Joy News, counsel for the Judgment Debt Commission said the commission would continue its investigation since neither the former minister nor his vice have been able to determine the whereabouts of the $3.5 million.
Meanwhile, former Chief Executive of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, Chachu Chikata, would later today be questioned by the Judgment Debt Commission over the controversial sale of the corporation's drill ship in 2001. It was during Mr. Chikata's time that the corporation entered into an oil hedging transaction with French multinational bank Société Générale that went bad. The Gnpc's Discoverer 511 was sold for $24 million to defray a judgment debt owed Societe Generale as a result of the bad hedging deal. Although the bank was in 2001 paid $19.5 million in judgment debt after Chikata exited office, documents on the payments are still unavailable. Societe Generale claims it does not have any such a document covering the transaction. The remaining $3.5 million can also not be traced. Mr. Katie Hammond, who was Deputy Energy Minister at the time, on Monday presented to the sole Commissioner for Judgment Debts, Justice Yao Apo, a 65-page document which he claimed indicated how the $3.5 million was disbursed. Another key figure in the transaction, Energy Minister at the time, Albert Kandapa, also gave his side of the story on Monday at the Commission. He explained that after consultations with experts, government had no option than to sell the drill ship. However, lawyer for the Commission, Kofi Dometi Sokbo, told the news team Mr. Chikata would be quizzed on issues leading to the sale of the drill ship. He said Mr. Chikata will not be talking about the sale, but he will be talking about developments leading to the sale of the drill ship. It was during his time that the matter went to court. Mr. Kofi Dometi Sokbo is confident the Commission is close to uncovering the shroud on the sale of the Gnpc drill ship.
Think Tank Center for Freedom and Accuracy says it has in its custody minutes of board meetings revealing new information supporting its claim that the state did not get the best deal in the takeover of the Merchant Bank by Fortis Equity Fund. Executive Director Andrew Awuni at the news conference also cited 4 members of the Merchant Bank board he says have resigned in protest of decision to sell to Fortis. The claim comes back to SNET's justification of the Fortis takeover of the bank, its own majority stake.
In their publication, they said the Financial Intelligence Center has been contracted to carry out due diligence on Fortis. The question then is, if we are yet to conduct due diligence on Fortis, then on what basis did the Bank of Ghana grant its approval? What happens if the Financial Intelligence Center discovers something untoward with Fortis during their investigations? Will the Bank of Ghana reverse its approval? But we at the Center for Freedom and Accuracy are well acquainted with the reasons for the indecent haste with which these approvals were given to Fortis. Fortis managed to get the approvals in a record 2.5 months.
He accused SNET and the Bank of Ghana for contravening Section 5, Act 738 of the Banking Act.
Under Section 5C of the Banking Act 2007, the Bank of Ghana shall not grant license to anybody who wants to start a bank in this country unless the bank is satisfied that, 1, the applicant has the technical knowledge, experience, financial conditions, and history of the applicant. B, the adequacy of the capital structure of the applicant. C, the character of the business and its management. And D, the adequacy of the applicant's accounting control systems and records.
According to him, the Board of Directors meeting of Merchant Bank a fortnight ago revealed some disagreements among the board members over the sale of the bank.
A board member, Professor Pupulampu, who was in that meeting, indicated that his concern has largely been that whatever transaction is agreed on would deal with the challenges of Merchant Bank with reference to what the bank needs as discussed under the Financial Performance Review of the bank at their meeting on the 22nd of October 2013. Professor Pupulampu said, the purchase price shown in the Fortis document is weak, given the fact that the principal shareholder, SNET, is being diluted or reduced to only 10% when compared to the first round transaction.
Professor Pupulampu said the Fortis transaction does not give the bank value.
The Freedom Institute has already sent the matter to court and is hoping its advocacy campaign will further mobilize public opinion against the deal. It is appealing to the public to sign a petition to be circulated in the next few days against the sale of the bank. Fortis and
we look at some labor issues, and this time on the media, as some staff of Graphic Group Communications have been demonstrating over what they describe as poor working conditions. The workers who presented a petition to management said management had failed to address their concerns despite several rounds of negotiations.
Workers' main complaint is their remuneration, they say, has to be increased, explaining that the matter has been under discussion for about 6 months now, until management pulled out recently to make way for a third party who the staff have rejected. The workers also complained about transfer allowances.
The issue has to do with our condition of service, which includes our salary. Presently, they intend transferring about 50 of my guys. And if somebody, you are sending the man to maybe Tamale Boga, and you say you cannot pay his accommodation for 150 Ghana cedis per month, and you are sending the person there, how would that person be able to get the room to work? So at the end of the day, you say the person is not working. There were times that management are making Kululu to chop money. Management make Kululu to chop money, which we are aware. Whatever is due, let's give it to us.
The police were brought in to stop the demonstrators because they said the workers had not given them the required notice. The workers, however, managed to present their petition to a representative of management.
And management has already issued a statement on the state of affairs, which union is aware of. And we want to believe that that is why this resolution is coming to us. So, having received it, I'll just send it back to the managing director, and then maybe management, after looking at it, will respond to it.
The workers say they will advise themselves if management does not resume the negotiations in the next 7 days. The workers have meanwhile asked government to intervene.
Over 100 students of the Walewale Senior High School in the West Mamprusi district of the Northern Region have fled the school following a riot there. 2 students have been arrested after the headmaster's bungalow was set ablaze and some cars vandalized in the riot.
The students vandalized and set ablaze the headmaster's bungalow, along with properties such as TV sets, clothing, foodstuffs, furniture, water storage tanks, and many others. The school's computer laboratory was also destroyed by the rioting students, who made away with the computers. The rioting students then pelted police officers who arrived at the scene to intervene. Among the cars which had their windscreens vandalized were a patrol vehicle belonging to the Gambaga Walewale police, as well as that of an officer. Some policemen were also injured in the riot. There are conflicting reports as to what might have sparked the riot, but Sampa Kasimu, a nephew of the headmaster of the school, gave an account of what happened. He said the headmaster is now seeking refuge at the Walewale Chief's palace.
The demonstration started last night around 9 p.m. The students chased the headmaster out of campus. He passed the night in town. So the police service came this morning to arrest the students, and they chased them out of campus. So when after chasing the police people, they came straight to their house, set the house on fire, and destroyed his property.
The 2 students currently in police custody are said to have been arrested after police from Bolgatanga and Tamale arrived at the scene to support their colleagues. Roadblocks were subsequently mounted by the police, and all buses leaving the town were searched. Some houses in the town were also searched for the rioting students. The school has since been placed under guard.
In other news, Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited, the company embroiled in a tiff with the Food and Drugs Authority, says its warehouses have been shut down by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO. The company at a news conference said several of the warehouses were closed on Friday in the latest phase of its standoff with the regulator. Tobinco is, however, questioning why Yoko would rather meddle in the matter and says it will revive a legal suit against the FDA because it has become clear the authority was not interested in settling the matter amicably.
Tobinco's claim is the latest in a tangle with the regulator, sparked by allegations that the pharmaceutical company was dealing in a drug, Gisonate Plus, that had not been approved for the local markets. Though the company said it acknowledged the blunder and reviewed the suppository, the FDA has refused to back off, resulting in a legal suit against the regulator, which was subsequently withdrawn for the matter to be settled amicably. Officials therefore described the shutdown of its warehouses by Yoko as surprising.
They asked us to show us whether we whether we've paid tax. So we've submitted all documents showing that all goods that were paid were claimed into the country, we had paid the necessary taxes. So nobody has defrauded the state of any funds. And yet Yoko seems to keep conducting investigations. Furthermore, now they said that they are supposed to conduct organized crime. What they are investigating now, is it organized crime? We don't see it as so, not at all. And therefore we think that they are just being used by the FDA in order to harass and to frustrate us.
The company singled out the FDA CEO for frustrating an amicable resolution of the impasse.
The CEO of FDA, Dr. Stephen Opuni, has been using communist inferior tactics to frustrate the efforts of Tobinco in resolving the issues at stake. On several occasions, when Dr. Opuni has requested ceasefire from media, he had gone ahead to harass the company in many ways, including the media.
The standoff, meanwhile, is said to be taking a toll on the company's operations. They also refuted claims they had imported drugs into the country after they were banned by the Food and Drugs Authority.
Before this saga, about 30 containers at the port waiting to be cleared. We asked their permission to clear. They said they would not clear or will not permit us to bring it inside the country for various reasons. One of them that the company has been blacklisted. Fine. Then we thought that what can we do? Let us give the drugs back to the person who brought it to us. Re-export the drugs to India. Would you believe that FDA still refuses to permit us to re-export? This is what we can call Konobukaya.
Market information gathered indicates that certain remote areas in the 3 northern regions and the northern Volta are out of stock of affordable antimalarials as we speak. Also, there are recent cases of shortages of antimalarials in some medicinal facilities in the country. These medicines are available in our warehouses, locked by FDA. The shortages can cause an influx of true counterfeit medicines.
Officials say they will revisit their suit after the Food and Drugs Authority, accusing the latter of disrespecting the agreement to settle the matter out of court.
Well, so those are the stories we have. If you have any comments you would want to get interactive, we have the social network pages for you. We have Joy News on TV and also that is on Facebook, and the short code 1760.
And 0544-334-722. We're looking at our headlines. Former Chief Executive Officer of the Gnpc, Tachuchi Kata, will today appear before the Judgment Debt Commission to answer questions over the controversial sale of the corporation drill ship in 2001.
Over 100 students of the Walewale Senior High School in the Northern Region have fled the school following a rampage there.
Up next is sports, brought to you by Tigo. Stay on.
So now we bring you sports, and it's brought to you by Tigo. Smile, you've got Tigo. Now, we know that the WAFO Cup is ongoing here in Ghana, and Ghana is on top of its group with 7 points, left with one last round of matches to play.
And that's Wilfred Circus, free kick, flies it straight, and that is a goal! An own goal. He heckled him in the process. There was obstruction. Now It is Kamet Kabari! 1-1. Just 42 minutes gone. And Burkina Faso have leveled. And they have restored parity here.
No, hardly the goalkeepers missed penalties. It knocked it down. But then it was Theophilus Anaba who was in an offside position, a shade offside.
Yaya Mohammed!
Nice goal, the man who nearly came out. Oh man, who told you that football is...
Well, we know that all the teams are now ready, 32 of them for the World Cup that will take place in Brazil next year. That is 2014. For many of you who want to see the Cup is right here in Ghana. It came on Monday. And Ghana is the first stop for the arrival of the World Cup, and it is on the Trophy Tour of Africa, and after the Trophy Tour will take the Cup to many other countries, not only on the continent but elsewhere in the world. It is the third time the Cup is coming to Ghana, and Ghana are also consecutively going to the World Cup for the third time. The Cup was met on arrival by an ensemble of traditional dancers with well-laid-out security plan by Ghana's security forces. Historically, the Cup has been presented to many nations since it started some 3 World Cup periods ago, just to make sure fans and other viewers would be interested in either touching or taking a glimpse of the World Cup. Officials of the Ghana Football Association said there was excitement in the air, especially following the qualification of the Black Stars, and the event was supported by other supporter groups right here in Ghana. And that's it for sports. Wherever the trophy will be today, try and just catch a glimpse.